Hello and welcome to episode 146 of the Power Pod.
Oh.
I was so unsure as to what number it was. I was scouring. I was like, I really hope I wrote it down on the document.
146. That's the one. That's the number. That's us.
That is the number.
That's our lucky number. Welcome to another episode.
And who are we?
Huh?
Who are we?
Oh, I'm Mark, and that's on.
And I am on. And that's Mark.
Who are we? That's it's an interesting question to start the episode
new year.
off with. Yeah,
A lot of self-reflection.
the new year. Is this our first episode? No, it's not.
First one we're... No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not either. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah.
There's nothing special about this episode.
No, it just feels like a new year though.
It kind of
I think we're still in the lull of New Year's Eve.
Oh, I wish.
In fact, we were even talking about what we did for New Year's Eve in the last episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, never mind.
It's because it's the cold snap is back, and it's so chilly at night. I turn on the lecky blanket, and pray the soul the Lord my soul to keep, all that stuff. You say
All that
prayers
stuff.
for about for you. It's because it's so cold, and
It could be very cold.
I have my electric hot water bottle as well. It's for period cramps, but I also use it. It warms up my hands.
Nice little hand warmer.
Yeah, and I now wear this fleece non-stop, 24/7. Orla asked me to take it off. I refused.
The one that you're wearing right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wear this non-stop. It's
Nice.
so cozy. I found it in a bag with jeans in it in my new house.
That is the most Mark statement I have ever heard in my entire life.
It's actually a satchel, specifically. It's mysterious.
This is a bit from The
crusty
Hangover.
old-
What the fuck you doing?
crusty old leather brown satchel.
Do you use the satchel?
Carl's going to take the satchel,
Okay.
rehome it. The jeans, I'm wearing the jeans right now.
No, you're not.
Well, that was for the listener. The listener is unaware, but
You're in tracksuit bottoms.
no, the jeans were thrown out, of course. They didn't fit me, but I wouldn't have worn the jeans, of course.
Of
anyway,
course.
to begin with.
Naturally, you wouldn't.
But I found this. I've copped this in my house,
Mm-hmm.
my new house, and I'm just delighted with it. It's just so cozy.
And have you washed it?
I have washed
Okay,
it. Yeah.
okay, right,
It's just
okay.
like Orla now.
Yeah. Just making sure. Just
I
making
have washed
sure.
it. I washed it 2 weeks ago, and now it's good to go.
And what
I
kind
washed
of wash
it. I
did
washed it recently as well. I did a normal wash. Cotton's 40 degrees.
Okay, yeah,
Lowest setting, lowest RPM, saved a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Put the little balls, the scenty balls,
Mhm.
smelly balls. You put them in there. You stick them into the drum. You watch it go around and around, and then it comes out, and you're laughing. I have
Perfect.
a dryer now as well. It's just such a great life.
I do remember using the washing machine and the dryer with you in Vancouver.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I am
coming up
glad.
here.
I'm glad that you've learned how they work now.
Yeah, me and Neil and Aaron, I think, or maybe it's just me and Neil. One entire
No,
summer.
it was Aaron as well. The three.
Was it Aaron?
Just fucking three in this.
We didn't use any detergent or fabric softener for an entire summer.
No, and I can't remember which one of you it was. I asked one of you, "Can you put my clothes into the dryer whenever it's done?"
Mhm.
I just throw it in with your clothes. And one of you, I think it might have been Neil, was like, "Yeah, sure, fine." I come home, my clothes are in the dryer, still soaking wet, but his clothes are also in the dryer, soaking wet. And so I go over to him. I was like, "Did you put on the dryer?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did. Yeah, I threw the clothes in." I was like, "Are you sure? Because like they're still wet." And he's like, "Oh, what?" And then he realized that he had just turned on the washing machine again.
To be fair, I remember that being difficult to that whole thing being difficult to operate.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been in the early days because it was a double thing. Like it was a double.
was one on top of the
dryer.
other.
It's very cool. And I was just thinking about the energy bills we had over there. 80 quid for 2 months. 80 quid for 2 months.
Yeah,
And we're just hocking out the dryer and the washing machine non-stop,
non-stop.
constantly. No
Yeah.
detergent or anything like that, but like
Because
hot-
that makes a difference.
hot water. Well, because that's it doesn't make a difference at all. That was our point. You just put it in with hot water, spin it around for a bit.
We-
It comes out. It's
you
it's
think about
basically fresh.
We used the washing machine loads as well because there was no cutlery really. So anytime there's something was dirty, we nearly always just tossed in the washing machine because I wasn't fucking arse doing dishes at home
Yeah.
because I was a dishwasher for my
For a
job.
living.
So I was not. I wasn't bringing work home, you know.
Yeah, you need the separation. Yeah, it's like he just didn't wash dishes at home.
No.
Only did it for when you're being paid.
Yes.
But yeah, we hockeyed at the electricity in that place, but we paid barely anything.
Mm-hmm.
I remember at the end we got a bill. I think it was in September when we came back. We got a bill $80 or something like that, or $85 or $90. And I was like, oh shit. Then I checked back a week later and it's just been wiped. Like, they're so forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
They're so forgiving over there. It's giving these illegal immigrants free energy, and then they just leave and they use it and they leave.
We were illegal. We were
perfectly legal.
Our living situation, I think,
it was definitely not legal.
Not legal.
But yeah, that was funny times. How was your 2 weeks been?
Pretty chill. Yeah.
Chill.
Just been relaxing. I have been playing a lot of Skyrim. I don't know why.
On
PlayStation 3.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to have a PS3 as well, yeah.
I for ages didn't like I loved Skyrim, and then I grew up and I was like, no, I hate Skyrim. And then I grew up for real and I'm like, nah, I love Skyrim.
Yeah. What's your what is it about Skyrim that drew you back?
The vibes.
It's
just walking around is just nice.
The music.
It's very immersive. The music. There's very little HUD. After making the video game last year, like understanding menu options and shit like that, I was like, man,
couldn't work the menu before.
Yeah, couldn't
turn it off.
But I was just appreciating the design of it. I was like, oh man, there's nothing blocking you from exploring. Just the only thing that you see is the map, and then icons pop up, being like, oh, you could go here or you could go here. It's just very addictive to walk around and explore.
Have you played it on PC?
Man, my PC would fucking explode if I put Skyrim onto it.
This thing,
yeah.
It looks quite powerful.
No, man, this thing can be deceiving.
Okay.
No, the PC isn't very good. It can barely run Audacity, bro. It keeps crashing every episode. The amount of audio we have lost.
Not too much. We're 600 days without.
Any amount is too much. It's so annoying. It just crashes.
It is annoying, yeah.
But how and ever. What have you been watching, my good sir?
You know what I did see?
What did
I
you see?
saw We Live in Time.
Oh, is this romance movie?
Yes.
Starring Florence Pugh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I don't. Oh wait, Andrew Garfield.
Yes,
got
exactly.
there.
Bang on.
Got there.
Yeah, it's a romance movie about people living in time. It's Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield, and they play Almut, which is just the weirdest name for
Almut.
That's her name.
Her name. I was gonna say, whose name is that?
That sounds like a guy's name. Her name is Almut Brule, so she's German. But it's not based on anything. I don't know why they tried to, because she's British as well in the movie, so she's a German Brit. But I don't know why they I don't know. Maybe it is based on something. But Andrew Garfield plays Tobias Durand. It's just
what are these names?
Yeah, very very strange names.
Tobias.
And then everyone else kind of has normal names. But it's about a couple that they meet and they fall in love. And it's very it's good. It's not We Live in Time. It kind of sounds like, About Time or like those kinds of things.
I was to say, I'm running through my head. I'm like, I know so many romance movies that are based around time.
Time, yeah. And this one isn't really about time, but it's the way it's structured is interesting because it plays with time in the actual structure of the movie.
I also know a lot of things about love.
Oh no, this one does it in a different way.
That messes with time in the same way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, when I went to go see this, I told Orla we're going to go see Nosferatu. I was like,
did you see Nosferatu?
I did indeed.
Okay, ground.
Of course I did.
We'll get onto that
I had this all set up.
Yeah, cool.
I had this all set up.
Did I just fuck up your flow?
No, not
okay,
at all, no. But I told Orla we're going to go see Nosferatu on Friday. I was showing her clips as well. Was it Friday? Yeah, I was showing her clips. It's like, this is what it's going to be like. It's this all.
Does she do horror?
She's not a fan of horror.
No, okay.
She doesn't like scary movies. And she was like, yeah, let's go. She was on board. And she was humouring me.
Were you just showing her the clip from SpongeBob, being like, see,
I did show her that clip.
This is what we're gonna go see. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I showed her that clip as well. But I also showed her he's coming up the stairs, and And yeah, just kind of I was like, yeah, it's just Dracula basically, which is just what it is. It's just Dracula. And yeah, and then she was like looking it up and she's getting herself worked up. She's like, oh, it's gonna be a scary movie. We showed up to the cinema. It was grand. Where were we? We're in the Cineworld on Parnell. We
Good
went
spot.
there. Yeah, great spot.
I like it.
Great spot. And we went in and played it perfectly. Got past the ticket guy. You know, had the phone turned around. She never saw the screen at any point. You know, I made sure I ushered her into the screen. She couldn't see like the title of what was on it. We sat down, we started watching the trailers. It's all these like fucking romance movies. I was like, this is a lot of... Why are they showing this before Nosferatu? And I was just like, wind it up. And then like the IFCO title card comes up and she's like, this isn't Nosferatu. And I was like, oh yeah. You know, I was like, yeah.
Nice.
The credit.
Well played.
I get all the credit.
Well played.
So I bought time to be able to go see Nosferatu because I don't know if she'd be fully into it if I hadn't done that in the first place. Kind of bribed her in a way. Yeah, the switcheroo to begin with. So I just sweetened the deal a little bit. But yeah, We Live in Time. It's actually a pretty good movie. It's actually pretty good. So it's about Almut and Tobias, and yeah, they fall in love. Tobias gets divorced from some unseen character, and he's having a bad time. And he works for Weetabix, which is really weird. I thought it was quite strange. He's just talking about like, I work for
exactly
Weetabix.
Weetabix as well.
He works for Weetabix. And
That's
he's like,
very strange.
He's a data analyst for Weetabix.
I don't think I've ever heard of anyone working for Weetabix.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's just so specific. Like, oh, if you work for Amazon or something, it's like that's just the generic thing. But to me, it sounded like Weetabix paid for a promotion in this random romance movie.
Who do you work for? I work for Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. I work for Dr. Oetker. I do as a data analyst, whatever. And
Data analytics
for an oven pizza company.
Pepsi Max.
yeah. He uses data analytics for Weetabix. And yeah, he's very, very boring, just straight edge, very boring guy.
Fucking sounds he works for Weetabix.
He works for Weetabix, yeah. He's the boring kind of like, oh, but clumsy, a Hugh Grant character. Oh, sorry, that kind of thing.
Fuck that.
He plays quite well. He's a good actor, And they're in their early 30s and they're talking like they're about to, keel over and die at any point.
Yeah.
I'm
talking like that at the moment. I'm looking at my birthday. I'm like, man, I'm 26. I might as well die soon.
Hey, hold on a second. You're 27. Yeah. But yeah, they're talking about they're literally about to keel over and just die on the floor. And there's a scene where, well, basically, so he meets Almut because he gets run over by her. That's very romantic, kind of like accidental meet.
So she runs her over. It's very romantic.
It's very romantic. The way it happens, it's like a meet cute, as they call it, in the industry. And yeah, they meet up and they bond over this. And he comes to. She's like a restaurateur. She owns a restaurant. She's a cook. She's basically good at everything, which is kind of annoying. She's literally good.
Is she a Mary Sue type of character? I don't even know what that term means. I just threw that out there. I was like, I don't know what that actually means.
I just threw that out there. Just trying to be provocative.
to ask questions.
She's a feminist character.
Is this movie woke?
Is it one of these woke movies I've been hearing about?
Does it pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah, maybe. Does it pass? That's a good question, actually. I don't think it does. That's an interesting one.
Damn.
But anyway, yeah.
Questions we almost.
This movie's not woke.
Not as woke as it thinks it is.
Yeah, it wishes it was more woke. But yeah, Almut, she's a figure skater. She's an amazing chef. She's like world famous for like various different things. It's just really weird. She has a great flat in London. She's like, oh, what a great life. But then tragedy strikes her down.
As always.
But like they're planning to have a family. After Tobias is like, I want to have kids, and she's like, I'm just not interested in kids. And he's like, well, that clock is ticking, And that's that's the whole thing. They're constantly talking about like we're getting so old. They're like, from what I can tell, they're only early 30s, or maybe mid 30s, something like that. But like, science is away these days, isn't it? Yeah. But I don't know. But anyway, they're planning to have a family. Tragedy strikes. It turns out that Alma is very sick. She's very sick. They've already had the family.
What hour into the movie is this? Because this still feels like it could be the setup. I don't know.
No, that's an interesting question, because this is maybe the first 10 minutes of the movie. but it doesn't actually happen until an hour into the movie because of the way it's
the
structured.
chronological order.
Yeah, so it starts out with them having a happy family and they're just like living life, doing whatever they want. They live on a farm somewhere in England, and then it suddenly cuts and it's Tobias and he's in a hotel room and he's signing divorce papers. It's like, what the hell's happened here? Like, I didn't know what the structure of the movie was at all. So I was really confused for the first 15 minutes. I was finding it quite hard to follow. I had to check in with Orla. I was like, is this supposed to be like this? And she was like, yeah. And he's signing divorce papers in the hotel room, and then his pen runs out, and then he goes to grab a pencil, and the pencil breaks, and it's very funny. And then he runs out of the hotel room, and he's in like his dressing gown. And he just couldn't be arsed. He's on some corporate trip, and he's there. He has his whiskey in the hotel room, and he gets run over by a random woman, and then he wakes up in the hospital and he's sitting there with a brace around his neck, and he looks across the room and there's Ahmed. And I'm like, geez, that must be so awkward to get run over by the person you're divorcing on the way to get a pen to sign the divorce papers. Like, is this like an kind of intervention thing? But it's no, that's actually that's when they meet.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they meet. And the scene before that is kind of the end of their relationship before the beginning of Act 3, you know? And the Act 3 is very conventionally structured, very like linear time structure and all. But it's all kind of, the whole story's like interlaced in not random ways, but in the way that you would kind of recall something. The way someone, if they were dying, they'd probably recall their life, you know? Like you have the chronological order. There is some sense to it, but it's also quite random. It's just hitting on the emotional beats each time, which is perfect for a movie like this. Which is probably why it's been used before and why it works quite well in this scenario as well. But yeah, the first two acts are structured in that way. I think it was pretty cool, going back and forth, seeing them like hash out their relationship, figure it out. They don't know what's going on. What are they?
What are they?
What are we?
What are they going to end up being, I wonder?
Yeah, and then, the next scene is like she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then it cuts to she's giving birth in like a petrol station and stuff. All romantic imagery. And then it's her at a cooking contest. She's a competitive chef. Representing Britain in the culinary Olympics, which I've never heard of before in my entire life. But
I'm sure it's a thing.
There's a big arena for it and all. But yeah, the last act, basically, it's after she's been diagnosed with her illness. She wants to make the most out of life. She's going off to this culinary championship, and there's the domestic tension between Tobias is like, you have to look after your kids. You're a woman. You have to stay at home, do all this stuff. He's not actually like that, but he's like, you need to focus on your family. Like, you're sick. You shouldn't be out doing this random bullshit. And it's just and the film kind of continues on in a very conventional structure for the end of it, and it's a grand ending. It's just like a normal kind of, or like the way it's structured is the same as basically any other romantic comedy that you'd see. But like, it's not bad. I thought it was interesting the way it was structured, the temporal entanglement that you see,
temporal flow of things.
The temporal flow, I love that. Yeah. Just the way it recalls how you would remember something how you would remember your life as it happened, or a person in your life as it happened. Because I assume it's not said in the movie, but like I assume it's about the family remembering her, or Tobias remembering her, his memories of her, because it's kind of from his perspective,
or her memories of his perspective. There you go.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
That's
why he's the bad guy.
Yeah, I was going to think outside the box. What type of film would you compare it to? Because from what you're saying, it kind of sounds like it'd be more like of the Eternal Sunshine school of romance with time, but like that's not. But that's also not a time. Well, it is kind of a time movie, but it's more of a memory movie. Kinda. I don't know. Like, is it like a smart romance movie? Do you know what I mean? It
is. Yeah, it's more of like an artsy romance movie. It's not like a Matthew McConaughey mid-2000s kind of thing. Like, it's very much a smart, like, it's very serious, good acting, really good acting throughout the entire thing, structured well. I wish it had carried through the structure to the end, but it didn't.
It sounds weird that it wouldn't.
Yeah, it is quite strange, but I think it's probably something that they sorted out in post when the producers came in, were like, I don't understand any of this bullshit.
This don't make no sense.
This don't make no damn sense.
I don't know why they're all Texans for this movie, but whatever. Well,
They're oil tycoons.
as we established, this movie's not woke. Doesn't pass the Bechdel test. So
Yeah, Donald Trump produced this movie. Yeah.
have you seen? Do you see the Elon stuff today?
Yeah, his Hitler salute.
Yeah. What the?
Yeah, no, and I like
it's a Roman salute, bro.
it was a Roman salute. Different thing. I like how no one cares. He just did it, and he's just like, whatever. No one cares. Everyone's like, oh, this is a bit interesting. This is a bit controversial. Like,
What the fuck?
if they weren't doing that at, or if that had been done in 2016, you'd have impeachments. You'd have people like rioting the streets, probably. But now no one cares. No one really cares anything about Trump coming into power at all. But that was ridiculous, and it was the most pathetic Nazi salute I've ever seen. It was very poorly
Elon
done.
is such a fucking loser.
Yeah. He'll get cast to the wayside at some point. He's gonna be a casualty.
He has to be.
He's gonna be a
This
casualty.
motherfucker's gonna go down.
He's gonna have to go down. Yeah. He's grim. He is absolutely grim.
Yeah. Will he go down as good
Oh.
as Transformers 3?
Oh.
I was not transitioning to Nosferatu there, bro. Oh my god.
I was thinking it, yeah.
I could see
I was thinking there.
I was like, what type of reactions? I was like, oh yeah, if I said Nosferatu, that's a whole different meaning.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah.
No, Dark of the Moon, Transformers 3. Did you watch this one?
No, I didn't.
I did not think you did.
Yeah, you knew. I completely forgot about this. I literally, it's obscured from this. I was like,
We're
oh shit.
fucking 3 movies into this franchise.
I'm going to catch up, I swear to God.
No,
I've seen this movie, though.
You don't need to catch up. You just need to come with me, because this is the last point that I've seen. I've seen 3 Transformers movies, in the past, month.
Yeah.
I've only in my entire life ever seen 3 Transformers movies, and I've seen these movies like 100 times. But, so from this point on, it's all new territory, and you need to come with me.
Is this, is the next one where it's like,
the next one
it's
has
the Irish guy.
Has Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. And the Irish guy's in it. There's an Irish guy in
Sure,
it,
have
and he's like, I'm not a pedophile. She's 17 or something like that. She's 16, and in my state that's legal. And then he shows like the card. Do you remember that?
Oh,
and he starts reading out the law.
Oh my god!
It was such a random thing to
include
include in the movie.
Transformers movie.
Such
Wow.
a weird thing to put in the movie.
I don't know if that's that one or if that could be the next one, or because the next one's Age of Extinction, but apparently the last night.
It is that one. The Last Night.
The Last Night
is.
I was about to say The Last Jedi, which is a very different movie.
The Last Night. Yeah, that is all. That's Anthony Hopkins in it now. Is he still alive? Yes. Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Yes.
This is where they go to the moon.
This is the one. Oh man, I now understand why people. These movies are kind of frustrating to watch. But they're still like, I still like this one as well. I think like the last half hour of this movie, or last like 45 minutes, whatever, is actually so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually genuinely hilariously really good.
Yeah.
The stuff with Optimus Prime is so fucking funny in this movie. But all the rest of it is like just painfully frustrating to watch. Because in the first movie, it's like, oh wow, this is the first contact ever. Was Sam Witwicky's granddad finding Megatron in Antarctica, wherever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
First time ever. That's first contact. Second movie, no. Transformers have actually been here since the dawn of human existence. They've always been here.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third movie is, and they were part of the moon landing. That's what this movie is.
Oh shit, yeah, that's what it was, yeah.
So like it just kind of like shits on the first movie like the entire way through.
They're part of the moon landing.
And these 3 movies, and I presume in the other ones, that I'm sure they suffer from the same problem. These movies have terrible villains.
Who's the villain in this?
The villain in this one is still Megatron.
Of course.
Even though he died in the first movie.
Mm.
But he's shit now. And then there's Septimus Prime or something like that. I can't remember what his name is. He's the other bad guy. But again, at the end of this movie, like all the bad guys just die, and it's the second time where Megatron just has a buddy who's like really powerful, but he's like, you know, he's just a buddy to Megatron. It's the second time they've done that.
Yeah.
So these movies are pretty badly structured, but that last half hour, 45 minutes is unreal. And again, the CGI is still pretty good.
Yeah.
Still pretty good. And there's less parents in this one, so that's always a plus.
Is Sam still gone in this one?
Is Sam the girl? No, Sam's the boy. Megan Fox isn't in this one either.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is the Mark Wahlberg saga.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, I'm talking about this. I'm talking about the Dark of the Moon. Are you talking about the Age of Extinction?
Oh yeah, I was on a different thing altogether.
You're in a completely different movie. Dark of the Moon, bro.
Dark of the Moon. So Sam Witwicky is still in this.
Yes, he's still in this.
He's still gone.
But Megan Fox no longer is.
She's gone.
Because
she's been replaced by
some other woman.
Okay.
With blonde hair.
Ah, interesting.
And they make a point of being like, yeah, that last girl, what an asshole. She dumped Sam. And then the mom is like, listen, Sam, you can't let this one go away. You've scored 2 baddies. There's not going to be a third. It's so fucking weird. Even her character feels like it should be. Like, her whole arc in this movie is terrible. Because it feels like this should be Megan Fox's character. Because that would mean it would bear more weight. But even still, she's still really poorly written. So, like, it's still just, like, bad. It's just not good.
Yeah. I remember, yeah, she was, like, a model or something at the time, wasn't it? She was in a few movies and it just disappeared.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
But I remember seeing it in the cinemas and just being kind of...
dumbfounded.
Just being kind of just thrown off by it. It was like when, remember in The Mummy Returns, or sorry, The Mummy 3, when they just replace Brendan Fraser's wife?
No.
It was just, well, that was one of the worst moments of my childhood because it just completely threw me off the movie. I just couldn't focus on it at all.
Yeah, it's hard to adjust it because like this
it
time
really
like
is.
I have my crew, I have my cast.
Yeah,
you know?
different crew. Yeah,
it's just like. I mean, like I don't know, no. Like the only thing I can think it's close to is if you watch, the Avengers movies, and then you have Edward Norton in the first Hulk movie, and then it's just Mark Ruffalo.
You would be amazing, Hulk.
He wouldn't have to change.
He
just stays the same.
You just paint him green.
Yeah.
He starts hitting Vietnamese people.
You'd love it. Oh fucking hell. So yeah, that's Mark Wahlberg. That's not that movie though. No, Dark of the Moon. Get me all fucked up. Dark of the Moon's still pretty good though. But there is one thing that is in this one. There's Shockwave, who is the Decepticon that rides the big worm, the big Dune worm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you remember the big Dune worm
in Transformers? Vaguely.
The Shockwave, and he's the Transformer that controls it or something. Okay. But it's like they haven't. So all throughout the movies, there's been Starscream that they mention, and Megatron, and then the main bad guy or whatever. They make a point. To be like, that's Shockwave, like 5 times in this movie, because he must have been important in the TV show. I guess I don't know.
Yeah. I realize more and more that, well, obviously, a lot of it is just callbacks to the TV show, which I never watched. I never watched at any point. So the information overload, like even Brains, is that what they're called? Brains and fucking Wheelie. Are those the racist little mini bots?
They're not in this one.
Or what's the ones like those 2 little sidekick characters in Revenge of the Fallen? They're definitely a callback to something. Like they're definitely.
I don't know if they are.
They had to have been.
I don't know if they are.
But they've so much content to squeeze into this movie, and they're like, let's make the 2 fucking racist characters.
Let's just make 2 racist characters.
Yeah.
I don't know, because in this one they still have like I think it's still the guy that plays SpongeBob, Tom
Kenny.
Yeah, he's in this movie as well. Still playing this little robot. Still mad annoying. Yeah. Again, these movies they're just weird movies to watch, but I don't like. I kind of like them, but I don't really like them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah. Like if they came out now,
It's just a weird spectacle to watch because they wouldn't come out now. These
yeah.
are,
Well, yeah,
these are of a bygone era.
yeah. They're artifacts. They're artifacts. But like, yeah, I suppose. But if something, yeah, I suppose, yeah, nothing like this probably would come out. Or is there anything comparable to this that comes out these days? Not really.
I can't think of like like maybe Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I suppose.
But that feels weird to say because Fast and Furious is still going. Although then again, like, Transformers is still going as well.
It is. Yeah. Is there going to be another live action, is there?
You know, there was a live action in like 2023.
Was there?
Yes. And it was a sequel to Bumblebee, I want to say.
Oh, but yeah, yeah. I never saw that. Or
which
ever
isn't
talked
connected to
someone
these
who-
movies.
It's not connected to these movies.
I don't think so.
The Transformers franchise.
Age of Beasts? No. Rise of the Beasts or something like that.
Yes, Rise of the Beasts. You're bang on. Yeah, yeah. The film's directed by Jesus. Yeah.
All I know as well with the next one is it was a big deal that they have the T-Rex Transformer. Grimlock, I think his name is.
In this one,
In
In
the next one, Age of Extinction. The
Age of
first.
Extinction. Yeah, they've the Dinobots and all.
Yeah,
all
no
the
idea.
boys.
No idea what's going on with those things. So I'm excited to see where we go or what the fuck they are. I guarantee you it's going to be disappointing
Yeah, yeah.
because
yeah.
I'm pretty sure the next two movies are regarded as absolute dog shit. So I'm looking forward to it. But then again, so is Revenge of the Fallen, and I like that movie. So
Yeah.
if I was to rate like this amongst like cheesy, like bad 2000s massive long franchises that like raked in millions, this is definitely below Resident Evil.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be. Resident Evil is very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
On the whole, though a few of them were kind of a bit more difficult to get through. But yeah, I can't imagine. I definitely kind of keyed out of the Transformers franchise after the first one,
100%.
like completely.
Yeah,
But I still like the first one.
I keep flip flopping on that movie.
You really do, yeah.
Yeah, I keep like I like
It's so much heart.
It's just like I don't know. I think
Its heart's in the wrong place, but
Yeah.
it does have a lot of heart. You know,
and there's nothing wrong with it. Well, there is. There's
Well,
a lot wrong
There's
with
a
it.
lot wrong with
There's a
it.
lot, but there's
But-
more wrong with the other ones. But I prefer the other ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think that's what's missing from that one. It's not shit enough to turn back around and be good.
It's not shit enough.
It's just like it's like equal parts good and bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
That's what I love about
And I
it.
need more bad to turn it into good.
Yeah, yeah. It's like alchemy.
Yeah.
It's alchemy. Yeah, no, I will definitely see Age of Extinction
Mm-hmm.
because I've never seen Age of Extinction. I'm pretty sure.
Never.
Pretty sure I'm the same. I wouldn't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I never saw it. I think it came out in 20. No, sorry, I have seen that one. I have seen this one. The next one with Mark Wahlberg. I have seen Age of Extinction.
You're watching it again, bitch.
I will watch it again. Yeah. Well, I have seen it before, but I think it would be interesting to see it again because it is essentially a reboot. It's a reboot of the franchise.
Which is ridiculous because it's
And
like
it's also 3 hours long or something like that.
yeah, no, these
get
these
longer.
movies are so long. These movies are crazy long. But yeah, watched a lot of long movies this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I also because I did, but this was not a long movie. But another franchise that I'm going through from the 2000s is the Saw franchise. So last time I talked about Saw on this podcast, I keep bringing Saw up every so often. It's my franchise that I dip my toe in for like one bit and then leave and not watch a movie for months and then I come back to it and I'm like, oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because 1, 2, and 3 are on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, when I watched 3, I didn't have anything to talk about. Even though Saw 3 is pretty good.
Yeah, but it's not like there's nothing happening in it.
I think it was just on an episode where we had more important shit to talk about. So it was like,
yeah, fair.
Saw's getting the cut.
Fair. Yeah.
Saw 3 is pretty good, but it ends with everyone dying. And so Saw 4 starts off from this point on, the retconning of previous information is ridiculous and like is what the franchise becomes at this point, because the first 3 are like pretty succinct in first, second, third, with some twists. But from this point on, they have to do twists to make previous twists no longer make any sense. But it's okay because you're watching this movie now, and this twist you did not see coming, so it's really cool, right? So that's what this movie starts off. I decided to watch this movie because important household update. We have a dodgy box now. So 1 to 3 are on Netflix, but the rest of the franchise isn't on anything.
Yeah.
Outside of renting each movie for €4. And listen, I'm sick of this shit. I will buy something. I will not rent it. I'm sick of renting.
Yeah.
Digital rentals is a load of fucking bullshit. So I started watching Saw 4. And that's the only thing. Again, I got nothing to talk about with this franchise.
It's not a long movie though.
It's 90 minutes.
That's
and
grand.
I
That's
watched
grand.
it while walking on the little treadmill that we have in the gaff. My sister
really?
got it last year. No one uses it for ages. So I've started using that now again.
You spent 90 minutes on the treadmill.
I spent an hour walking. Like, it's just walking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
At like a leisurely pace. Place. I mean, I hope it's
In a
very
leisurely place, yeah. As well.
watching Saw 4
Yeah.
at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
8 a.m.
It was like 8:30.
It's so weird.
I live a strange life. That's what I do with my Monday mornings.
Yeah, that's yeah.
A day off.
Wake up on Monday morning. Well,
On my
crack it on. Oh,
on my-
for fuck's sake, it's Saw 3 this morning.
Yeah, I was off work and I got up early, so
yeah. That's fair play. Yeah. You're off work and you get up at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. That's big. That's big.
Had a lion today.
How late did you lie into?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. Respect.
Oh, I love it.
I'd push that further if I were you.
No, fuck that. Sleep is for the weak. No, I go to bed kind of late, so I have to. That's why I sleep. I sleep the same amount. I always sleep like 7 hours.
Yeah, I've been getting it 7 hours as well. But even when I sleep more, 8-9 hours, nothing happens. Like I don't get any better. I don't get any more restful.
Don't get any better.
I'm still the same person. Which is sad. 8 hours used to do me. I used to get 8 hours every night.
Did you feel good?
No.
No.
No, not at all. But yeah.
7. I get 7.5. 7.5
Yeah.
is pretty general. I get 7.5 most nights, but yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Some nights I don't be sleeping though.
What do you be thinking about?
I'll be thinking about the ghoul,
The ghoul under your bed?
the man
I'll leave him alone.
at the light switch.
Nosferatu.
That was a very
That was
convoluted.
good.
That was a
That
very
was
convoluted way to get
That
there.
was good. I like that.
But okay, yeah. So we have now seen, both of us have seen Nosferatu. I genuinely,
Hated this movie.
I know that we watched the original,
The
original 1932 one, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I can't remember a fucking thing about that movie.
Yeah. It's still on Netflix, isn't it?
No, I think we watched that thing on YouTube.
Oh, do we?
But I do remember watching the Coppola Dracula movie from the 90s. I still remember that movie, and then watching this movie, I was like, yes, I do remember the Coppola Dracula movie because a lot of that movie is in this movie.
Yeah.
But it's still like pays homage to the old movie in really cool ways, while also I think being its own thing. There you go.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, no, this is definitely a spooky one.
Did you find this movie scary?
No, not really at all.
I
I thought it was very spooky. I didn't think it was scary.
I found
And
the bit of him going up to the castle, and when he was like first meeting Count Orlok, I was like, I'm on the edge of my seat. This is good. This is good horror.
Yeah, well, I liked that. I liked when he goes into the village, and then I liked when he gets to the castle. But
everything else.
no, but like in terms of scary factor, you know,
Mhm.
I
Oh,
didn't.
yeah,
think,
I
I didn't
agree.
think. I didn't think it was very scary at all. Which I have to say, I was quite disappointed by. I thought it'd be scarier. I thought it'd be a bit scary because like the witch is scary.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
And I'm holding this guy to the
I was
witch.
like, what witch? There's no witch in this movie.
Man, you missed the end credits, the post credit scene. Yeah, there's like a new universe coming out with Nosferatu in it. No, I just thought I was just a bit disappointed by the fact that it's not really that scary.
Mm.
Which I thought was just. But the more you think about it, and the more I read about what Eggers saw for the movie, what he was trying to do, and thinking about Dracula, and he specifically calls it out in some of the interviews that he does after filming the movie, where he's like when he did The Witch in 2015, he was immediately hired to do this afterwards, like straight away.
Mhm.
This is going to be a second movie, but then it was shelved for some weird reason, because he had to go to a castle to collect a deed off some random guy to sign over the rights. But so he spent years researching for this one, and he got really into the weeds with Dracula and like all the lore and obviously the movie itself, like the original movie. And he talked about in an interview about how the popular idea of Dracula is like even what you're saying there about Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, which is pretty close to like the original idea, or like the book itself isn't terribly scary.
No,
You
have
know?
you ever read the original book?
We did it in college, though.
No, did we?
Yeah.
We might have done it in college. I don't think I actually read it though.
They gave it out with the Irish Independent in like 2012, 2013 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know. It just showed up at my house one day, and we had it for ages. It's like 450 pages, and it's mostly just gothic bullshit. It's just going on for ages.
It's fucking it's lost letters, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah. It's written in the form of letters back and forth, like correspondence between and it's a cool way to tell the story. But it does just go on.
What?
It just goes on, but there are certain scenes which are like, which are scary, which just allude to something just something just really terribly wrong. But like, the whole idea, like the sexual.
Very
Politics.
horny movie.
Yeah, around the book as well, like the whole idea of Dracula to begin with as well. Like our idea of Dracula, the popular imagination of what Dracula is quite divorced from the original character, and even Nosferatu. Like everyone knows what Nosferatu is, but Nosferatu is just Dracula. But Dracula isn't really what you think he is. Like the character itself, like the original character. And Eggers was saying that he wanted to bring the character back to kind of the roots, like the original, like what it was originally set out to be, the OG Dracula, like an actual rip-off of Dracula, but in
called Nosferatu.
Yeah, called Nosferatu, which, it's understandable why he would kind of move in that direction, because this movie is definitely way more horny than it is scary.
Oh man, isn't it just?
But it's also scary horny.
It's mad horny. It's scary horny
to a scary extent.
Could you pass my bag behind you? Sorry. Continue, sorry. Mad horny.
It's very, very horny. And but yeah, it's not terribly scary. But the movie is all about the
horn.
The horn. It's all about the the jizz and the fucking just the yearning. It's like, oh, it's people just being like, oh, it's all nighttime, and like, oh Jesus, wish I was in bed with that fucking count.
It's like black and white. This movie is nearly black and white, but isn't black and white.
Yeah, it isn't black and white, but like, it's very dark.
Actually, I don't know if you're finished. I'll just put that.
I'll mix it up a bit. But yeah, it's very dark, very very gothic. A lot like the original. I like the whole bloody story. But yeah, it's about nearly like a love triangle between your man. What's his fucking name? I can't remember the actual name of the character. He's like Harker, Jonathan Harker.
I have no idea. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt's character.
Yep. I love Nicholas Holt.
He's amazing. He's an amazing actor. He's never missed.
He's very good in this movie.
I want to see his new movie, New Order. Looks really good. About the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good. And it's the love triangle between him, his character, Nosferatu, and Lily Rose Depp.
Sweet Jesus, man.
Yeah.
I'd like talk about Nicholas Holt, but Lily Rose Depp in this movie is unreal.
Yeah.
She's
really
so good.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it and I was like, oh man, you remind me of, this performance is giving me the vibe of Isabella Gianni from Possession.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting the exact same feeling as she does a bit in this movie that is like the underground passage bit in Possession, the bit where she's just like screaming and writhing around.
Yeah.
Lily Rose Depp does a bit like that in this movie, and I was like, I see what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I appreciate it.
I see you're ripping this off.
Yeah, no,
But it's a reference to the fact that Nosferatu is a rip off.
it's also yeah, but it's definitely like this movie is steeped in like references, but like you can see the influence on this movie a lot. But I still really enjoyed it. Like a lot of times I feel like there's some movies where I watch them and I'm like, you remind me of this other movie, but the way that you're doing it is really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like when you see movies that are like inspired by The Matrix and they're the most fucking obnoxious movies.
Yeah.
This is not like that though. What's his name? Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
What did you think about him in this movie?
I thought he was the worst actor by far. I thought he was terrible.
Yeah, man. I found him.
He was just, but I don't think he's a good actor at all. I don't think he's ever been good in anything.
I think
he's all right.
I do like him, but
he can't act really well.
I only like him because he's in Kick-Ass. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah, but like that's genuinely probably his best performance.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's so good in that movie.
But what else is he good in? Like he's a good action guy.
Have you seen him in Bullet Train?
I have not, but I imagine I've never seen Bullet Train, but I think I would not like it.
I
don't think I'd like it.
Don't think you'd like it. I don't think you'd like it either.
I don't think I'd really enjoy it. Have you seen it? Is it good?
It's alright.
Yeah,
like, it's fine.
I just don't think I'd like it. Just based on like it's purely prejudice. I've read the book. No, I've read the cover of the book, and I'm like, I'm not gonna like that. So I haven't read it.
Did you see a poster?
I just saw like clips and stuff. I was like, I don't want to watch that.
Honestly, like the poster for Bullet Train, I saw that poster and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be into this like at all. And I watched it and I was like, I mean, I was kind of right, but I was wrong in some ways. This movie,
it's not as bad as it looks, maybe.
Bullet Train.
Yeah.
Here's an example of the thing I was talking about with Nosferatu and its influences. Bullet Train is so clearly influenced by Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't like Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah, neither do I really. Yeah.
So, Bullet Train had that.
Yeah, but that's a good one there. I feel like Aaron Taylor Johnson is a Guy Ritchie movie actor. Like, as in he's not very good at really anything.
I think
he's all right.
I think part of the problem in this movie is that he is so like American Hollywood beautiful in a movie of gaunt weirdos who don't look like him.
Nicholas Hoult is way better looking than him.
But he doesn't look better than him in this movie.
He does.
No,
he's
he
a
doesn't.
hunk in this.
Man, in this
just
movie,
the sideburns, man. Forget about the sideburns.
No, like he's pale, he's gaunt, he looks like he's dying. Whereas
he's like us. Well, like me anyway.
But Aaron Taylor Johnson is really distracting because of that, because he doesn't look like he fits in this movie, and he's also just being like completely outacted by everyone else in this movie. And it's not his fault, because like Nicholas Hoult is great. Lily Rose Depp, I haven't seen her in anything else, but she's the best. I think her and Willem Dafoe. Who's the other
he's
person.
incredible, of course.
Like,
yeah,
her and Willem Dafoe are unreal in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other guy who's the guy in The Witch that I can never remember his
Ralph
name.
Ineson. He's an incredible actor.
And he's incredible.
He's an incredible actor.
And then you have just Nosferatu as well, who's like, the performance, whatever, but just the look of him and everything about him is so cool. And then you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I feel really bad for him, but I'm also like, I feel like it doesn't really matter. Like,
yeah, but I think, just beyond everyone else being better, I think it was just actively like a pretty bad performance. I don't think it was active. He's going around like, ho ho ho. Well, good chap. Well, hope you come back from the distant lands. Then you will settle down and have children with your good wife.
Yeah,
it was just like it was so weirdly like. I don't know if it's overacting or just bad acting, but he just wasn't very good. But I like him. I don't mind him as an actor at all. He wasn't the right choice at all.
Him and Nicholas Hoult don't feel like friends in this movie, and I think
they're supposed to be friends. Yeah,
and I think they're meant to be.
But they have to be really close friends. Otherwise, they'd be like, well, they're supposed to be. It's her and it's his wife and it's the wives that are like really close friends. But they're supposed to be quite friendly. Like he's like, I'm going to take your wife in. I'm going to look after, make sure everything's okay. But and he goes to extreme lengths, obviously. But like their interactions at the start of the movie, it's just like,
They're
Yep.
weird.
Best of luck out there.
Yep.
I'll see you later. He wasn't that bad,
He wasn't that bad, but
he stuck out like a sore thumb
he
because he was just
yeah.
outclassed by everyone else.
Um,
But he was bad. I'd say that. I also another beef. I thought Nosferatu could have been scarier. The design.
you know what? I walked into this movie being like, man, like really like that movie. I went from a 4-star to a 4.5 star later on that night.
Uh-huh.
When they were talking about it, I was like, man, that movie might be a 3.5 or a 4. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's.
The way they were talking about it, more I'm thinking about bits I don't really like.
Yeah. Like, but I think it's more the Like, I was thinking about it when you were saying something earlier, that like it's more the hype. The hype of this movie is we already kind of had the movie in our heads.
Yeah.
But then
And it was that movie.
It was that movie, but it was a different kind of movie to I kind of I expected something a bit scarier. But that's me. That's on me for like, I just had a different kind of idea of where he'd go. He had a different interpretation of the, you know, he went in a different direction with Dracula, which is completely valid. I always thought, I think we did this in college as well, and I was talking about to someone at work about how we did it at some point. But I remember there's a few different readings you can do with Dracula, and it's obviously
yes, there is a lot.
There's like the sexual one,
which this movie
really leans into. There's one about like, you know, it's just like disease and kind of globalization, and then there's the one about aristocracy. I was very, very attached to the one about Dracula as like an old aristocrat haunting Europe. It's the parasite.
Well, there is also
I would have just.
There is also, you know, a scary foreigner as well.
Exactly, that's what the guy in work was saying. He was like, I thought this is a very racist movie, and I was like, what a hot take. I was like, that's ridiculous.
I can kind of see where he's coming from, because it does have
the original is, yeah.
Yeah, the original, because this is an adaptation of the original. This movie's like low key a little racist, but it's also because like the text or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like you could have done something about that. I don't know.
That's why I don't like.
It's I did have that thought, and then it left my head.
Like, I disagree with him. I was like, I don't like. I definitely I could see where he was coming from. I could see that reading definitely. But like, I didn't really disagree with him. I was like, yeah, I can completely see that.
Yeah, I can see
but
that.
but I was more like, I just think this, and that's why I think he probably shouldn't have gone in that direction. In my opinion, I wouldn't have gone that direction.
Because if you're going to
leaning into that,
because you're leaning into the sexual undertone, which itself, like afterwards, I was like thinking about it. Maybe this movie isn't that good.
It's like the most scary thing is that, you know, it's like the foreigners coming over. He's emigrating to whatever, England, Germany, and you know he's like,
going to fuck your wife.
He's full of disease, yeah, and he's coming to have sex with your wife. But the scariest thing is that she wants to have sex with him as well. And that's kind of the reading of Dracula when you read it from,
which
from
is
that
also in the
perspective.
Coppola one.
Yeah,
but I think
that was the 90s though.
But is it the Coppola? Is the Coppola one not that she's actually, the way that they get around that in the Coppola one is that she's actually the reincarnation of his wife? Is that how that movie starts? I think it is.
Oh, I don't remember.
I think that's how Dracula
yeah, it
starts.
must be. Yeah, that's like a.
And that's why she wants him, because she's actually like the spirit or whatever of his lover. But this movie does not have that. This movie does not have that. This movie has something a lot more traumatic.
Yeah.
As it is like she gets SA'd by him at the start of the movie.
Yeah, but then it's like you have to take the bullet.
And then
you have to take the bullet.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just like, this is just such a weird like, but like, you know, that is the story, but that's, I just always found the other reading like just so like just infinitely more interesting and compelling, to the extent that it did kind of damage how I saw this movie, but that's more because I just prefer that other reading so much more. And if you go with the sexual element, I don't think that's as interesting to begin with, but also the whole foreigner thing coming to England, and he's going to spread, and in the original book, which isn't in Dracula or isn't in Nosferatu, it's not in this one, is that
I mean, hey, Nosferatu came out just before you know, the Nazis took over, so you know,
it was a few years, 10 years, yeah, but like
this movie came out, you know, the same year as Trump being elected.
It was the time. It was a different time, man. But in the book, there's a big thing about Dracula, is he's going to not only is he going to come here, but he's gonna invade all of England. Like he's not just here for my wife. He's here for all of them.
He's not here for my wife.
He's here for all of them. Yeah. It's not a huge thing in the book, but it is mentioned. So you can definitely read the book that way. And of course, the book is written by a big West Brit bastard, Bram Stoker.
Yep.
Who is obviously a massive racist. So you could definitely read it that way. And this movie doesn't do much to distance. It is a direct adaptation of Dracula, essentially. I just think it goes slightly off angle. I still think it's a really spooky movie. It's really well done. Yeah.
Last question. What did you think about the peen?
The peen.
Yeah.
That's another beef I have with this. I thought it was just so distracting.
The nakedness of the people and the peen.
The peen. I didn't like the fact that the
He's fucking disgusting. Nosferatu in this movie is
he's got like
sick.
He's riddled. I thought it was, first of all, I thought it was weird that it was daytime when he gets up.
Yeah. No. It's like
dusk.
It's just like night is falling.
Yeah, I thought
and he's now in the shadows.
I thought that was annoying. I was like, why is Nicholas Hall taking the chance when he's about to go? Well, maybe it's like his last chance, or whatever.
The bit where he's drinking his blood as well is so fucking good.
Yeah. It's all really well done and really scary or really spooky.
This movie's so gross. This is a very gross movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the reason why I like this movie. So it's a gorgeous, sweet Jesus movie shot so well. The acting in it is really good.
I saw it in 35mm in
Damn.
IFI.
How did it look?
It looked great. I don't know what that means really. 35mm. I read that was
the grain, I guess.
The grain. There's huge amount, so much grain, man, so much grain. But
I saw this movie in IMAX.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Was it worth it?
I went to the Blanche Odeon, which has recliner chairs.
Ah, very good.
In the IMAX screen. So yeah, this movie was fucking crazy loud though. I don't know if it's just because it's on IMAX, but fucking hell.
That's just the IMAX, yeah. Mine wasn't loud at all.
It was way too, genuinely, I was like, this is actually, I don't like this. This is too loud.
You turn it down, please.
Honestly.
In the IMAX screen. No, but the 35mm was good. A lot of grain, but I only remembered it now that you said it. But yeah, I didn't have as nice experience because I showed it 20 minutes late. And at the IFI, state run, so it starts bang on time. And I showed up, and there's no lights. Like it's pure cinema in there.
Yeah.
You walk in.
That's what I love about the IFI. It's so immersive.
There's no lights at all, nothing. And I walk in like a fucking dope. 20 minutes into this movie.
Are you joking?
Yeah, 20 minutes in.
Jesus.
But I got held up. I was 50 minutes late, and then some guy held me up, and he was like, "What's the code to the toilet?" And I started like, "Oh, I'll show you." I searched through my email. I gave him the code, and he immediately turns around, doesn't even say thank you, and I was like, "What the hell was that about?" You know. But I walked in, and I couldn't see where I was. I couldn't see anything. I was just I literally
remember having an experience like that
anything.
before.
And I walked in, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I was like feeling around. I turned on my flashlight, and it's a full cinema. When I booked it, it wasn't full at all. There was like 10 people in it. It was a full cinema.
This is fucking disgusting, just so you know. This is panic-inducing for me.
Oh yeah, but like it was more like, oh, everyone's gonna think I'm a fucking dope. And I knew what number my seats were, but I didn't know. I knew where they were in the cinema, but I didn't know which side I was supposed to be on. Mm-hmm. So like, I need to make a call very quickly. Like we need to, if we're going in here,
need to be made.
If we're going in here, and our seat isn't there, we have to just leave the cinema.
You have me now looking at IFI to see what's
we can't. IFI is good, man. If you pay them 250 quid a year, they're going to put your name at the start of the credits.
I'm okay.
250 quid a year. Think about what you pay for cinema tickets during the year. You also get like a load of free cinema tickets, and you get your name.
250 quid though up front is steep.
But you get free cinema, and then you get your name at the start of the credits. You put the Parapod as well.
Man, I'm so
Nosferatu, sponsored by the Parapod, produced by.
There's do you know that like I go to be, I think they're in all of them. It's the Dean and something. The ad.
The which?
They're the advertisement company that put ads in cinemas.
Oh, okay.
It's Dean and something. I can't remember what it is.
Okay.
But every time that their ad comes on, I think it looks like a radio ad every single time. And especially if you're up in IMC in Santry, that the ad for putting your ads into the cinema is the most played ad, that it makes me think that your business is not working because nobody is paying for ads in the cinema. That's only up in the IMC in Santry though.
Looks like there's a gap in the market for us.
So there we go. We'll make an ad. We'll
But-
get back onto Luke. We'll make him do a fucking 5-minute short.
A 5-minute ad. I was just like, what the fuck? This isn't Paw Patrol 3.
Yeah.
Just
going like, oh, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, but we could short them. We could say, best we could do is 100 quid.
This is a prequel.
We're not going to pay for the
It's
full
No, not a prequel. What's the word? What's the word looking for? A teaser.
It's a teaser, yeah.
5-minute teaser.
It's a teaser for the Parapod movie, which is coming out next summer.
Oh, Jesus. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, a Parapod movie.
Just
Just the thoughts of it. Just the thoughts of it.
yeah, but
Oh,
we should
fucking hell.
look into that maybe.
A Parapod movie. I think we're
No,
start a GoFundMe.
how much would it be? How much do you think it would be to get an ad in the IMC?
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
How much do you think?
A couple hundred.
Well, let's say we only want to show for one movie once.
One-off ad.
Yeah. But then we could screen it.
Surely it depends on the movie as well. Surely
Mhm.
maybe like, is late screenings more expensive?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, just show it at like 10 o'clock in the morning. So
Once.
a lot of paedophiles show up. It's just like it's no one else in the cinema. It's like them and us.
And we showed in a movie that's like just about to leave cinema as well. Like everyone has seen this movie,
Yeah.
but we're gonna put our ad before this movie.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I think that works. I think that sounds good.
Yeah, we could do. What's coming out soon? There's something coming out. The Wolfman.
That's already out. Apparently that's mid.
But that is. Oh yeah, I've heard it's based on the reaction. I haven't heard anything.
I
Based on
haven't
the
heard
reaction.
anything. Yeah.
Based on the reaction, it's dog shit. But that
Yeah.
means that's our time to slip in.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks' time, no one is going to go see that.
This is our chance.
That's when
to
we
make
get
it
in
big.
there.
This is our time to make it big.
That's when we sneak in there. We'll give you 50 quid tops. That's all we can do. No one's got to see this movie. We just want to get our names out there.
And please allow us to record ourselves on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Will we go for a break?
Yes. That was good.
There you
That
go.
was good.
I don't know why we didn't. We should have. That should have been one of our things we do.
Yeah.
But I think we drink
It's a bit
wine
late
most
now.
of the time. So yeah, it's way too late to start establishing things in this podcast, like reoccurring things.
Yeah.
Can't change the formula.
We can't change the
like-
formula. Can't mess with the formula.
That one is nicer than the other one.
Let me have a go at that. Let me take her for a spin.
But yeah, IPAs generally, I don't know. Depends on the IPA.
It's a bit more soapy.
Yeah. I don't know if that's because you drank ginger beer beforehand, but
Yeah, maybe. They're all just mixed.
yeah.
It's a cocktail of terror.
Oh yeah, it gives that foam.
There you go.
Yeah.
Foam. Yeah, foam.
Lovely head on that.
Lovely head there.
Cheers, brother.
Do.
I like the way
Cheers.
that like it's like we should be doing this like with whiskey or something.
Yeah, but I like the glasses. It's a snifter of IPA.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
just a swift one. You know, it's a glass of IPA.
Yeah,
You know,
we're just sharing cans.
wouldn't be caught dead asking for a glass in a pub, but drinking with the lads,
No.
glasses all day.
Glass, yeah. You want to, and even it's very continental style as well.
Mm.
We don't have the beer filled all the way up, or it's like maybe an American style. You know, when you go to France or like Italy or Spain, they only fill it up that way. And you're like,
Just
what the
a bit.
hell is this? Why you fill up me big?
Yeah, fill it up the full way. Imagine getting a Guinness, and the Guinness was like this.
Oh, you'd be tearing over the bar. Get it out. You know.
You'd be having none of it.
You'd be having
Well,
words.
I do think that we should be drinking whiskey though.
Should be drinking whiskey.
We should be drinking whiskey.
Let's get whiskey next time.
I think we need to
Just a
change.
bottle of
Yeah,
whiskey.
we need to get a like Red Robin. Is that like a whiskey or something?
Oh yeah, is it Red Robin? Yeah.
Robin Redbreast, something like that. It's Robin.
Yeah, it's Robin. Yeah, it's what is it called? Something Redbreast.
So I think it might just be called Redbreast.
Yeah, it is.
Alright,
yeah.
let's try that.
We know our whiskeys.
Yeah, sure. We should get a bottle of that, or like I don't know, something.
Yeah, and then
Some Jack Daniels.
2 ice cubes. Yeah, just get Jack Daniels or like whatever fucking John Daniels from Lidl or whatever. You know those ones. You get
Yes, I know the ones you're talking about.
and they're perfect. They do the job.
They
you
do
know.
the job.
They do the old job. Ian.
But whiskey, I feel like it's a great American drink.
Great American drink.
And we are talking about what I'm going to argue is one of the great American movies. It's a woman under the influence. I butchered it already.
Fuck's sake.
By John Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes.
1974. This is a bit of a long one. I'm going to mess this up. Mabel. I was going to say Mabel. Mabel, a desperate and lone. Oh, fuck it. Mabel, desperate and lonely, is married to a Los Angeles fuck this. I just saw the length of it. I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. A woman under the influence about Mabel, and she's married to Nick, and Nick is a construction worker. Mabel's real lonely, and is kind of slipping into a bit of madness because of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good synopsis.
And
that's because the movie, not a lot really happens in the movie.
No.
In the way that you can describe within the parameters of a simple letterbox synopsis.
Well, apparently you can make it really difficult to read.
That's way too complicated. This movie isn't.
Why?
The plot is not complicated.
You read that. You read the first 2 lines.
Mabel Longetti, desperate and lonely, is married to a Los Angeles municipal construction worker, Nick.
Shit, he did it.
Municipal, like symbol on that one.
Yeah, why that word?
Municipal. It's municipal. Municipal waste. He's a waste worker. Or what is he? He's
an Italian American.
He's a wastewater. Yeah,
Are these all Italian Americans?
They're both like immigrants, aren't they? Or no, so they're second generation immigrants, like Cassavetes himself.
Yes,
his ma's Greek or his dad's Greek or something.
We have Peter Falk.
Oh, one more thing.
Columbo himself. And Gina Rowlands. Those 2 names are important.
Yes.
Those 2 names are very important with regards to this movie. And especially John Cassavetes, who we talked about last week, who was in Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm. He was.
And we had said, while watching, when we were doing their little discussion about Rosemary's Baby, that Cassavetes was a bit of a king.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a bit of a...
Oh, okay. Is he not?
No.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm jumped the gun.
Sorry,
I interrupted the flow.
We had talked about how he was a bit of a king, and the things he'd said to Polanski about how he was still attracted to his wife or whatever. And you're like, yeah, he seems like a bit of a king. And then you watch his movie and you're like, man, it kind of makes sense that Rosemary's Baby was Rosemary's Baby, because John Cassavetes was there to make it this more feminist leaning movie, I guess. Or more gender. You can see the gender roles being played out.
Yeah.
And this movie is gender roles, the movie. Mm-hmm. And how they destroy people. This is patriarchy is a bad thing. The movie.
Yeah, it is patriarchy, the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And one of the first ones.
Yeah, 1974, so early on the game. But it's a very, very simple movie.
Very simple movie.
Very long movie.
A long, drawn-out movie.
Man, it's so long.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot happens in the movie. In terms of, plot is what I meant earlier. You can't sum up the movie. No. Really. You could sum up the movie in 2 sentences.
You can explain what happens in the movie.
Yeah, very simply.
But what happens and what the movie is 2 different things.
Yeah. Yeah, you're dead right. Because the movie is about the characters. It's about the interaction between the characters, the space between the characters, what they're doing, what they're not doing, what they're saying, what they're not saying. And how they
proximity to one another.
Yeah, and how they bounce off each other.
And the positioning of the camera in doing all that.
Yeah, well, Cassavetes.
Sweet Jesus, but we'll keep going.
This guy. Well, no, yeah, you're bang on. It's the characters, how they're interacting with each other, the relationships between them, and you're more thinking about how that kind of reflects. It's not just about the wife and the husband. It's they're kind of synecdoches, nearly.
Yes.
To call back.
Oh.
To call back to one of our older episodes. It's not that old, actually. But yeah, they're representative of roles, of gender roles, and they're very good representatives of it because you fully believe in them. The acting is insane.
The acting is.
It's
This is
incredible.
probably like across the board with every single person in this movie, including the children.
Yeah, even the kids.
One of the best acted movies. Maybe the most well acted movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Everyone is so good in this movie. Every interaction is so raw and realistic, and like I feel like I'm sitting there in the awkwardness of some of these situations,
Mm-hmm.
and like feeling exactly how these characters are feeling,
Mm-hmm.
because of how well acted it is, and because of the insane cinematography in this movie. Jesus, this movie is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and the score is great as well. I have to say that, especially at the beginning of the movie, because it was just like all the random piano bits that they play,
Mm-hmm.
and like the kind of choral music. I thought was really cool. That was really vibey. It doesn't really mix with the domestic, because usually films like that, like kitchen sink kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't really a kitchen sink movie, but like the domestic kind of realist.
It's kind of like an Ozu movie.
Yeah, there is that
Um,
transcendental stuff going on.
But it's not. It's very different to Ozu, like very different to an Ozu movie. But the same, like transcendental, taking its time,
Mm-hmm.
and you reflect on what's going on in the movie and like, the themes or whatever.
Yeah,
This movie has a lot of that.
yeah, it's a very dense movie.
Yeah.
Very, very dense movie. Like it takes ages to move from one sentence to another in a synopsis,
Mm-hmm.
but it's extremely dense in everything that the characters are doing,
Yeah.
like what they're saying,
The emotional weight of everything.
of everything, like what they say, how they look at each other, what they don't say as well, which like what's unsaid is just as important in this movie, and that's like an easy thing to say, and it kind of sounds like a load of bullshit, but like but it is so like how Peter Falk's character reacts to his wife. Like the scene where he brings home, so like she's not doing too great, and she's had this weird episode with
she's not doing too good.
she's not doing too great, and he's after skipping out on a date night with her. She meets up with some other fella and having some weird fling, and he finds out that she's not doing too great. He leaves.
I love how this movie starts as well, because because when you read the synopsis, like, oh, she slips into madness or whatever. When you meet her at the start of this movie, this is literally the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
Is like what we see here. So like you can feel the years of like build up beforehand.
Yeah.
To where she is at the start of this movie.
That's all. It's completely implied. Like there's nothing mentioned really.
Just by like how it's acted, and like the interaction, but like how it's written as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can feel like this has been happening forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like all the relationships have such a huge depth to them, and the emotions feel really very real because of that, and just like how the characters react to things tells you a lot about them.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily with them saying something or like making a gesture, making a face or anything like that. It's just what they don't do in a situation. Like when he comes home with all his friends from work for like a lunch or whatever. He's been out. He was called onto some kind of random job during the night, and he comes to lunch in his house, and he's expecting the wife to have the lunch ready and be the perfect housewife and stuff like that. And she starts acting weird with the other guys, and it's kind of awkward. But like the awkward, like it really lingers on the awkwardness.
Yes,
like
it does.
Like you can sum up that scene in a sentence, but it doesn't actually explain what the scene is about or what the scene tells you, or what it tells you about the husband. Mainly the husband,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all about how he's reacting to that situation, and he's just trying to pretend that everything is fine, and
Mhm.
he's trying to make sure that no one else kind of pops that bubble. No one else at the table. There's like 10 other lads at the table who are all seeing that his wife is clearly distressed.
Not well.
Yeah, and he's just, and throughout the movie he like reacts like violently to any suggestion that would potentially like put a prick in his balloon world where things are fine and things just
Everything's
keep
okay.
going. Yeah.
We're an American family. Everything is fine.
Yeah. He's constantly saying, relax, just relax,
Yeah.
settle down. You know, all this. He's just trying to take it easy.
His yell is so explosive.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. He's great. I've never seen him in anything.
I've never seen him in
else.
anything. I haven't even seen Columbo or anything like that. But God, this is it Peter Falk? He's incredible. But Gwen, what's her name? Sorry,
Gina Rowland.
Gina Rowland. Jesus, she is phenomenal. I've heard before, like people saying, like not like in my daily life, but like people like, who was it? I think, Andrei Zulowski thought this, and I've heard someone else, but I can't remember who thought this, where like acting is like the best actors are always female. Women are the best actors. Why did I say female?
Throws female.
Female. Women are always the best actors. And like we were literally just talking about Lily Rose Depp in Nosferatu, Isabella Gianni in Possession, and in this movie as well, Gina Rowland is just like like insane. And it's like insane physical performances, but also like it's that thing that you're talking about, like the little looks. Like there's one shot in this movie where the kids have come home early and she has planned on just spending the entire day with her husband. Finally, she can have him. Because I love the bit where like you can see that he brings in all of his mates into the house and we never see Gina with her friends alone.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I think they are friends at the end of the movie where it's like two women. I don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah,
presume they're friends, but we don't see them until the end, until she comes back from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she's completely alone, and then he has all these friends, and she's only ever around people when her husband's around people. It's, you can feel how lonely she is. And yeah, there's that shot where like so the kids come home and they ruin her. Not the whole day she's gonna have with her husband now, and then her mom gets into the bed as well, and there's just a shot of Peter Falk like trying to like mess with all of them and just be like, you know, happy dad, everything is fine, and in the background, just like this perfectly cut out shot, you can see Gina in the background and she's fucking snapping. And it's so well shot and it's so well acted and so realistic, but it is insanely long. But I think
it's so long.
But I think that's part of it. I think the experience, the length and like how long drawn out certain things are in this movie only enhances the good of what this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think this would be a better movie shorter. I think it's a very perfect length for what it's trying to do. But I did take breaks while watching it. So that has to be said.
I don't think it would damage the movie if it was like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes shorter. I'm not sure if it would damage the movie, but again, it does kind of strike me looking back. Like
the last hour of this movie is all in real time.
Yeah.
Which is insane, and it's so good.
Yeah, I feel like looking back, I think you might lose some of the nuance. Well, obviously you do lose a lot of the nuance if you do shorten down certain sequences, and even the way what's her name? The wife, Gina Rowland's character, she seems like a very reasonable person. You know,
she does.
Like she seems like a quite a normal person who just has a lot of issues. Mm-hmm. But issues, it's not as if like
she has been worn down.
Yeah, it's not as if she's just fucking mental. It's like you can see her surroundings are so chaotic. She's not getting a moment to herself.
This isn't like she is crazy because she is a woman.
Yeah, of course.
This is a woman under the influence.
She's under the influence, and not of alcohol.
Yeah, she's just like worn down by the influence of the patriarchy.
Yes. That's actually, I didn't even fucking get that. That's what you just said.
I just made that up right there.
That
could be bollocks.
That's a really good. That's really good. That's definitely the actual under the influence. Wow, that's 100% the reading of the title. Under the influence of the people around her, yeah. Mm-hmm. But like just so much so that she's just like caught in orbit of everything else that's happening around her. The only thing that, and even she's committed to a hospital. Even when she comes back from the hospital, it's just like it's.
She can't have a moment with her kids.
She can't regulate anything that's going on internally because it's just constantly
Her husband telling her what to do.
Yeah, it's just him dominating her life, but he means well at the same time as well, and you can see that he does mean well. But he's obviously very
Just be yourself.
yeah.
Oh, that bit.
Yeah, and he's got a lot going on as well.
He's also fucking crazy as well.
Well, he's mental as well.
He's
but
mental.
But he's kept busy, so it's like normal. And
Overworked blue collar man.
Yes, yeah, and that's another element. Class definitely an element to it.
And he can't have. I love the bit as well where earlier, like halfway through the movie, where when she's in the hospital, he's putting the kids to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And he just says he doesn't want them to go to bed yet, or something. They want to go to sleep. He gave them beer to go up to bed.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Do you want anything to eat? I'm going downstairs. You can come down if you want to." Like, no, I want to go to bed. And he does it with each one of them, and then his daughter says, "Oh, just like stay in bed with me." Like, he's not good at putting the kids to bed.
Yeah.
And then you have the mom come in at the end, like near the end of the movie, and she puts them to bed, and you can see how she's able to do it because she's actually showing emotions to the children where the dad cannot in any way show any emotion to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that, just comparison as well, and like that's how he's fucked up. He's fucked up because he can't process his emotions outside of anything but anger.
Yeah. No, it's bang on, but it's so like everything's so detailed.
It is.
You know,
it's so raw. It's so yeah. I think this, like, I was watching it and like honestly, like half an hour into the movie, I was like, this is what I would consider like one of the great American movies because this feeling and aesthetic can only. It just feels so American.
Yeah,
it's so drenched in 70s disillusionment with the American dream.
Yeah. I was even thinking like this isn't something. It's not like it's not necessarily like it's a 70s movie, but it's something you can map on today very easily. But like you know,
but it feels like the 70s.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. But like, could you make this today? And not in that kind of way, but like, how would that work? I was thinking as well on the way over here, like, how could you make this?
He'd just be an Amazon worker.
Yeah, something like that. That just sounds so fucking boring, you know. But like, what's that about? Like, why is it more interesting? Why is it more interesting when we're watching it now than it would be if we made it today? But also, how could you make this in an Irish context? Like, you know, because a big part of this is the fact that they're, you know, working class, second generation immigrants, and have, you know, they got the accent and all that. But it's like, how could you do this with an Irish family? Or would it be? But like, is that a personal thing for? I was listening to it in my head and like, that just sounds stupid.
You just make a movie about the housing crisis, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose you would. Yeah, I suppose you would.
Yeah, something like that. Not being able to own your land.
Yeah,
I don't know if you could do like a gender thing like that. But I don't know. Probably.
Oh, you definitely could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of the dynamics are still there. The basic, like, you know, your man going up and slapping her isn't acceptable now.
So many slaps in this movie.
Yeah.
Man, there's a naked child in this movie.
Yeah. Well, that
I was like, whoa.
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
They had that in the 90s as well. But like, you know, it's not acceptable to go up and like slap people these days.
Jeez, there's so much slapping.
But the dynamics are all still basically the same. You know, except for the fact that the woman used to be working as well. But like, it's like nearly. How's that? Are they both becoming Peter Falk?
Yeah, they're both just angry men.
Yeah, they're both just extremely angry men. What does that say? What does that mean? But a lot of the women are double jobbing, where they're being the angry man, but also the loving mother at the same time.
Yes.
You know?
Or they're just being. What you get with women nowadays is that you get the two of them combined, where she has to go off to work, but also be doing all the, you know, cooking and cleaning at home.
Yeah.
That's
angrily.
That's the truth, brother.
That's the truth. Truth nuke.
Truth nuke. Do your dishes, boys.
Do your dishes. It's so true.
Do your washing up.
Yeah.
Learn how a fucking tumble dryer works.
I have, as you can see. I've done it all. I do it all. But yeah, no, I did really enjoy this movie, but it was long as fuck.
It was long as fuck.
But I think that's more on me than it is on John Cassavetes.
I think that is. Do you think? What would you rate it?
Would I rate it? It's tough to say. I feel like this is something that will definitely grow.
Yeah,
this
is a thinker as well.
This is a thinker, because I've thought a bit about this,
Mm.
and I feel like when I think about it a bit more, I've thought about it a lot as well in the last 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and more than I maybe thought I would.
You did the same thing with Nosferatu, but I think I dislike that movie more now.
Yeah, but I did a lot of thinking about Nosferatu as well before last week. You know, it's when you think about it, I have to digest this movie. But I'd say it's a projection 8 out of 10. That's my projection.
I'm projecting. I watched. I have one episode of Succession left. That episode where they're like, we're projecting. We're gonna claim it. We're making the call.
Yeah, yeah.
We're calling it.
And they swing it.
Yeah. That was
good. That was gold.
That was peak TV
gold.
there.
That was gold.
But yeah, I have one episode left of Succession.
What are you thinking?
Oh man, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. I love that.
Uh-huh.
I'm at the end now, and like one episode left. I'm like, I have a fucking breeze where this is gonna go.
Yeah, it's very hard to figure out.
Because every episode, the power dynamics are shifting and turning, and like,
yeah,
you think that they're caught out, but like, oh no, we're gonna sneak it out this way.
uh-huh.
It's so good. I love Roman. Sweet Jesus, Roman is so good.
He's great. Yeah. He's so good.
I love Shiv. I love Tom. Tom is such a piece of shit as well.
Yeah, Tom. Yeah, I like Tom more. I hated Shiv. I hated her.
Oh, I
despise her.
I love Shiv. I was like, I understand you, Shiv. You can fucking destroy this place.
Yeah,
but also, you're all like, I feel like the person that has the most entitlement, just because of the shit he went through, is Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall is like the most hateable character, but I also felt myself rooting for him, for most of it.
He's the one person you can kind of root for,
yeah,
just because of the shit he went through.
Yeah, the others aren't really rootable.
I fucking hate Roman, but I love him at the same time.
Yeah, but you can't really root for him, but he's so funny. And yeah, he's like such a horrible person. And they're all horrible people. Greg is great. Greg is great now.
He's such a fucking weasel.
He's great. But yeah, but he's a slime ball. But it's like you're kind of proud of him for being for pulling out of the bag.
He is eating his shit way all the way to the top.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it says it all. It says it all. That's how it happens. That's how it works.
TV show. Very good.
It's very good. It's very good.
And
you'll enjoy the last 2 episodes.
Woman Under the Influence. Very good movie.
Very good movie.
Very good movie.
Yeah.
A strong start to the year.
Indeed.
Mark, I'm going to tell you this now,
Uh-huh.
so you're not shocked when we get to the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the way that you weren't expecting me to love The Cook the Thief?
Yeah.
No, that I have the same feelings towards this movie. So be prepared. No, that next year I'm pushing this movie hard.
Pushing this movie hard. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that holds up.
So, do you have a recommended film?
Of course. Lost Highway by David Lynch.
The late, great David Lynch. We kept this until the end.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to...
Didn't want to ruin the vibes.
Not like ruin the vibe, but let's like, I want to give a little eulogy to David Lynch. Like, I think David Lynch might be I think he probably is my favorite director of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people who are into movies
would say the same.
Mm-hmm. It's maybe one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and 2 of my favorite movies of all time. And him as a person just seems super cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Really nice guy. Really beautiful worldview. And yeah, he's able to appreciate the beauty in other things as well. Like it's all like, it's a very dark, something's like scary. I was Lynchian or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think something about his movies is it's as much about, the beauty or the, kindness and stuff, as much as it's about, that's pretty fucked up and scary. It's about the other half of it as well. Huge. That's obviously most of his personality when he ever talked in interviews. Very nice, gentle man.
Oh, yeah. I love anything I've ever heard about him is that he was just a cool dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kyle MacLachlan didn't. Did you see Kyle MacLachlan's post?
I saw his post. Yeah.
Oh man, like that was.
Laura Dern's as well.
And like Naomi Watts. Is that her name?
Yeah, Naomi Watts. Yeah.
Naomi Watts. I saw
Naomi.
A clip. She like absolutely adores David Lynch. I saw this clip of like David Lynch like telling her like, you need to slap him, like slap me, and she goes like, like gently,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, "No, I need you to slap me." And she's like, I can't do that. I don't want to do that." He just seems like a real loving man,
Lovely guy.
lovely guy.
Uh-huh.
I really, really hope, I'm not gonna look into it, but I really hope there's no, we were talking about like allegations of that earlier. I really hope that there's nothing here that I'm gonna ruin about.
Turns out he was a... No.
He and P Diddy were close.
Yeah, he was on Epstein Island. He actually owned Epstein Island. He leased it to Jeffrey Epstein. Now,
And he seems like the most cool dude.
as far as I know, the only bad thing he's ever done was sign a petition in support of Roman Polanski.
That son of a bitch. We got
Sure, everyone signed that, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Sure,
Everyone
sure
signed
you
that.
signed that, didn't
Oh
you?
yeah, we all did. So we got. How did you think we afforded the equipment for the Powerball?
We paid off. But that's, as far as I know, that's the only thing. Which is, yeah. But yeah, he seemed like a lovely, lovely guy. I watch his weather reports every day
They were
for at
always.
least a year.
They're so pleasurable,
Yeah.
just pleasing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good
No,
morning.
Yeah, they're so pleasant. It was just like, good morning. Would you believe it? It's Friday again. And then he give the weather, and it's just, but a lot of people forget he'd used to do the ball as well. He
Number
had like
13.
he had a bingo, and he'd be like, today's number is 7, and I always thought I think that's kind of lynching,
Mm-hmm.
like the random chance, like that kind of thing. It was like a funny kind of, like, that's the other side.
Yeah,
of,
because he's got the
of what
random
he's all
ball,
about.
and he's also predicting. He's talking about the weather.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And he's this. I was like, what was I listening to today? Music wise, I thought it was really cool. Yeah, it's a shame. It was the wildfire that got him in the end. Did you see that?
Was it?
Yeah. He he didn't get burned alive or anything like that, but he got that would have been crazy. But he got the smoke came down, and he was extremely ill anyway to begin
Yeah, he
with,
was. Yeah.
and he had to be moved somewhere else. So I think probably the shock of that, plus the fact he had basically no lungs, so any smoke inhalation would have fucked him up. That's what killed him. A few days after, or a day or two after. So
Global warming, you son of a bitch.
yeah, it took David Lynch. Yeah, mad.
Oh well. Good night, sweet prince.
God bless him.
Oh god. Yeah. So
Lost Highway.
I was about to say Inland Empire. That's a different one. Lost
We're not
Highway.
watching that. Yeah,
No,
we're gonna
it's-
watch Lost Highway with Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman.
This is the one that I've never hear anyone talk about.
It has it has a few freaky scenes.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's definitely not as well regarded. I know a lot of people really like Inland Empire, but I've never heard
Yes.
enough about it to be like, I need to watch that.
I've heard it's the most Lynch you'll ever get.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know if I want to do that.
yeah. which is also I love David Lynch, again one of my favorite directors, but 3 hours of Lynch at his most Lynch could be a lot.
That could be a lot. I feel like if they showed it in a cinema, I would probably go see it. If we had a crew going, I would go.
Yeah, I would go see it in the cinema.
But I'm not going to watch it on my shitty TV.
Is pretty likely.
Let's say if IFI
Lighthouses were
Lighthouse most likely, yeah. If they're doing one, we'll go see that.
Um,
Regardless of which movie it is, but Inland Empire is probably going to be on it.
cinema showing.
But they do their programs like fucking 3 months in advance. So
Yeah, so it'd be a while before you
in
get it.
June, come see David Lynch's Inland Empire.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not to me.
It will come up though.
It will at some stage.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it there.
Good night.
God bless. Bye.